Hi, I'm Dr. Christy Warner, and this is Dr. Adam Avate, and we're physical therapists at Core Performance Physical Therapy. Today we're going to be talking about how to mobilize and stretch your calf.
The calf plays an important role in both knee and foot conditions, so we like to put a lot of attention on really lengthening this because its tendency is to get really tight, especially with the forward head posture that shifts your center of gravity forward and puts a lot of tension on those calves. Not to mention ladies with those beautiful stiletto heels, it tends to put a lot of that pressure there too, so we want to reverse all those. So the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to mobilize it. So Christy's going to take her foam roller here and we're going to roll out her left calf. Okay, so traditionally, if you have enough of the body weight support through your strength through your arms, you can go ahead and just roll up and down. To give her a little bit more pressure, she'll go ahead and cross the one foot over the other to add to how much stress she's going to put onto her calf. Okay, and important to note is see how Christy's wiggling her foot up and down. That's going to get almost a 3D view of how your calf is. Okay, because in my experience, there's a lot of the knots that rely on the inner part and the outer part of your calf, not just in the middle part of the belly. Okay, and when Christy does find a hot spot, I like her to kind of sit on one area and then pump your foot. So it's, in a sense, you're kind of detangling the knot that you might get in that muscle. Okay, and that flossing it really helps stretching it from both angles. If you don't feel like you're getting enough of a release from a regular foam roller, you can try either a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball. My preference is a lacrosse ball. A tennis ball is a little bit more forgiving, so you might want to try there if you are sensitive in your calf. But you'll kind of do the same things, is where you'll really scour that whole area in a nice 3D view. And then when Christy does find something that feels a little achy, she'll kind of stop there and then just floss her foot to really annihilate that knot. Okay, and if you do have access to it, hyper ice makes great hyperspheres, which are vibration release for that same area. For the stretching, we're going to start with the long sitting calf stretch. Okay, so Christy's going to start out with legs long, make sure that her back's erect and not bending forward at her low back, but hinging at her hips. Then we're going to take a strap across the front of her foot. Okay, so the reason I like this so much is it really enhances that terminal knee extension at the knee and also takes advantage of the windlass mechanism of the foot, so it really stretches that calf from both angles. Okay, and I like to put a bolster underneath the ankle to really further influence that terminal knee extension right there. Okay, so when Christy breathes in, feels the tension through her back of her calf, breathes out, squeezes her shoulder blades back, and really gets more of an aggressive stretch more towards that really back part of the knee. This is really, really great stretch for those knee post-operative. Okay, great. So the next stretch we're going to go over is a standing calf stretch. So Christy's going to come over towards the wall. Okay, so we're going to stretch her calf first. She's going to put her involved leg back. So we're trying to stretch her left calf. And she's going to lean into the wall. She's going to put all her body weight through her elbows, trying to push through the wall. And then keeping this knee straight, it's going to feel a nice stretch all on that upper part of that calf. Okay? And then from there, she's going to go ahead and pay attention to her breathing. She's going to breathe in, feel the tension on the backside of her foot or calf. And then when she breathes out, she's going to lean even more forward into the wall, pushing her body weight through her elbows, and then driving that heel down towards the ground. Okay? From here, we can also stretch our soleus muscle. This muscle is often underlooked for a lot of our musculoskeletal dysfunctions, especially at the foot. So the big difference is just letting her knee bend. So instead of keeping her knee straight, that'll get more of that upper calf. She's going to have her knee bent, and then that's going to stretch more of that soleus muscle that runs right underneath that calf. Okay? Again, paying attention to her breath, being very mindful and looking for a nice release. Okay, to make this a little more aggressive, what you can do is get a wedge. So we'll put a wedge back behind her. She's going to keep stretching her left leg. So left leg behind. And then with the wedge, it takes up a lot of the range of motion into dorsiflexion, so she doesn't have to lean into the weight or lean into the wall as much as she needs to. And then from there, she can do the soleus too. Just let that knee bend. And then that's going to shift that stretch more towards the bottom. Okay. You want to make sure you're feeling a nice belly stretch and a little bit through that Achilles tendon as well. Now I realize that you guys might not have a wedge at home, so the next best thing you can do is going over to your staircase. So right next to it, Christy, we have a stool. She's going to go ahead and step onto it. She's going to drop her left leg back and then let that fall. Okay. And again, she's putting all her energy into letting all her calf really let loose, and this is really good stretch for that Achilles tendon. Okay, if you need a little bit more stretch from there, make sure your arms are secured onto the wall or whatever you're working with. Then go ahead and pick the other leg up, and that'll shift all that body weight back onto that involved leg for an even deeper stretch. Okay, make sure to be mindful of how this is feeling. Don't push into too much pain, but really focus on getting a lot of release and tension. So go ahead and try those variations out and see which one works best for you.